Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2024-25 NFA Boys Basketball Preview Show. My name is Chris Giusti, and today I'm joined by NFA Boys Basketball coach Jeff Brown.
Thank you for having me.
It's the most wonderful time of the year, Coach. It's basketball season here on the NFA campus, and we just wanted to get your thoughts on some of the things that's been happening so far. How's practice has been going so far?
Practice has been very exciting. We had a large number of kids trying out for the team this year, which is always exciting. Practice has been off to a great start. A lot of the values that we taught in the preseason are coming out in the after tryouts and in the practice, so it's been a good start so far.
Great. And looking at the team this year, what do you think the strengths of your team will be?
We're going to be young, but I think we're going to have a lot of energy. I think we're going to kind of focus more on the defensive end, obviously mixing up the defense a little bit here and there. But defense is probably going to be the name of our game this year. Offensively, we're not really big, but we'll push the ball, we'll run, we'll try to get our open threes. But defense is going to be kind of our tell on the season. So
kind of as a follow-up to that question, if I'm walking into a practice, what are some of the things that you emphasize and value as a coach?
We kind of value the one rep at a time kind of mantra, one rep at a time, but rep standing for a couple things, that is being respect, encouragement, pride. So we really kind of, if you're going to walk into practice, the kids should be being respectful, there should be encouraging other kids, and obviously taking pride in NFA basketball and all the history that's been here, obviously, as you know.
Tremendous. Some of the key players, what are some of the names and faces that we'll be seeing throughout the season?
Yeah, we have a couple returners. Josh Lavoie, a point guard, returning from last year. He's going to be a sophomore. He'll have a couple games under his belt now. Ethan Graham has been a varsity starter for the last 3 years, so hope to have big things come from him. And a couple of guys, Javon Thompson, another senior, Keegan Johnson, another senior, to add some leadership to the floor out there. But there's a lot of up-and-coming young kids as well. 10th grade class, very strong. So a lot of kids that could make a name for themselves this year.
That's exciting. Always this lead up to this first game always has kind of a different feel to it. Yeah. How does the preparation for that opening night game differ from any other regular season game?
Yeah, it's a little different because obviously having no scouting report on a game this year, but luckily we saw them a little bit in summer and some fall ball that we kind of understand who they have. I know Brady Erickson is one of their big guys. That's the problem for us, is 6'7". We don't have anybody that height, but obviously we can use our intensity and physicality from the weight room this summer to hopefully battle him.
So when that game starts, when the ball goes up in the air for the first time, what are you looking for in that first 5 minutes from a coach? I know for me, like I always was worried about if the shots were falling right away. My assistant coach would, calm down, coach. Yeah. It's only the first couple minutes, but the shots aren't falling. Yeah. What do you look for in those first 5 minutes of the game?
I mean, I agree with that. You want to get a couple shots to fall early, get to the basket early, maybe get to the foul line early. Just want the energy to be up high right off the bat and kind of playing for each other, and hopefully that gelling occurs quickly, so they play for each other and know who they're looking and what roles they should accept.
Awesome. And a couple scenarios for you here, Coach, as we wrap up. Thank you for your time and looking forward to the team this season. So a couple scenarios from a basketball perspective. You're down 3. You have the ball with 20 seconds left. What's the offensive strategy?
My strategy would be to try to get a quick 2. Obviously, if a 3 presents itself, we'll take an open 3. But obviously, we're trying to get to the basket, get a sure layup or sure 2, or get to the line. Obviously, there's a lot of time left, so get a quick 2. Maybe have to foul, maybe get a steal. But I would like to go for the quick 2 if we can, and then play it out from there.
And another scenario that's been highly debated at all levels is when you're up 3, 10 seconds left on the clock. You're up 3. Yeah. You're on defense. Yep. The other team has the ball. What are you doing there on defense?
Yeah, that's another tough decision because you're either 50-50. I've actually been in that situation once or twice, but I actually, at Norwich Tech when I coached, we actually beat Classical by using the foul. We fouled them with about 5 seconds. They made the first, they missed the second. It was batted ball, and we pulled away with the win. But if he makes 2 or makes 1, he gets the rebound, so there's a lot of different scenarios. But just kind of having confidence in that moment of what you choose, and not having any second thoughts on it.
So you're going to push that question to the time when it actually happens. But well, we hope that we have a huge crowd in Alumni Gym on opening night. And throughout the season for this NFA boys basketball team. Coach Brown doing a tremendous job we thank you for joining us, Coach.
Yeah.
Any parting
No,
words?
I just want to thank. This is a great little setup we got. Thanks to the kids for helping out with this program. Just getting basketball out to all the kids and on the videos. So I just appreciate all the help that you bring to our basketball team. So thank you very much. Token of our appreciation, Coach Juicy is NFA basketball T-shirt for you. On the back, you know all about it. Tradition. He's been part of this for years. So thank you, Coach Juicy, for all your support.
Thank you, Coach Brown, and good luck this season.
I appreciate it.
And thank you all for watching. Good night.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome high above courtside inside Alumni Gym on the campus of Norwich Free Academy for tonight's boys basketball matchup between the Woodstock Academy Centaurs and your NFA Wildcats. Alongside the coach, Chris Giusti, I'm Mike O'Farrell, and it's our pleasure to be with you again this season. This is our first of 4 boys games, and we'll also be broadcasting 3 more girls games this year, having done their home opener last night. But this for the boys is more than just the home opener. It's the season opener. And Coach, we heard from Coach Brown. Now I want to hear from you. What's it like getting ready for the first game of the year?
Well, Mike, happy first day of winter.
That's right.
Cold outside, shortest day of the year, but happy to be inside the cozy confines of Alumni Gymnasium. The first game of the season, there's always some butterflies, but it's so exciting. It's like that present that's under the tree before Santa comes, and you have to wait to open it till Christmas morning. That's what this first game, you know, you're getting ready for it. You have extra practices to get ready for this game, and it's finally here. There'll be some jitters. Woodstock, fortunately for them, had the advantage of opening up Thursday night at home. So this is their second game. They got their feet wet. The Wildcats got to get acclimated to playing under the lights on game night, which is different than a practice. But once you see that first basket drop, things seem to cool down, and I think they'll get their feet wet once they see that basket go in.
Well, I feel like chestnuts are roasting on the open fire up here because it's a little toasty where we are, for sure. But, you know, I don't know. I mean, how much of advantage was it the other night for Woodstock? I mean, they had a 48-point loss to St. Bernard's. Now, granted, St. Bernard's the cream of the crop in the conference, arguably in the state. So does a game like that where you're never competitive except when the initial horn goes, what does that do for them?
You know, at the end of the day, you know, it's about the Jimmy and Joes, not the X's and O's, and it'll come down to the matchups, and we'll talk about some of those players. But I think there's something to be said for getting those jitters out of your system.
Sure.
Whether or not NFA comes in with jitters, they might not have any, but I think it's a slight advantage that they got to play no matter what the score was the other night.
So we're focused on jitters. I love it. Let's focus on the keys to the game, Coach. What do you got for us?
Well, the coach's spotlight, I got 2 guys I want to highlight, Mike. For Woodstock, it's Brady Erickson. Around the state, he's known as a dominant left-handed pitcher that's heading to UConn next year, but at 6'6", with plenty of hops, he makes for an imposing force on the basketball court. He had a team-high 18 in Thursday's loss to St. Bernard. NFA needs to get a body on him at all times tonight. For the Wildcats, I'm looking at Josh Lavoie. This year, the sophomore officially takes the reins as the undisputed point guard for the Wildcats. This program has a history of great point guards, whether it be Mark Jones, Garvin McAllister, Xavier Marquez. How Lavoie plays tonight and throughout the season will have a big impact on the team. He needs to go get the ball and direct the action as much as possible.
You know, I think he's certainly a key, and what's interesting, this is a very young Wildcat team. I mean, we're going to start 3 sophomores, and you know, so there's a lot for Coach Brown to look forward to. You know, we're going to see some growing pains along the way, but I think you're right. Lavoie, I'm almost willing to say, as Lavoie goes, the Wildcats go, right? At least initially in moving things up and down the court.
Yeah, I mean, he's the head of the snake, so to speak.
Head of the snake,
he needs to go get the ball and make sure that, you know, Coach Brown wants to run things. There's some teams, there's some programs and some coaches, it's helter-skelter, it's free-for-all. Coach Brown wants a structured offense, and that starts with the point guard getting the ball. We'll see what Woodstock tries to do if they try to take him away or try to deny him. They played a little bit of 3-2 zone, 2-3 zone, and some man-to-man the other night, so it'll be interesting what Woodstock comes out on defense tonight.
So the starting five for the Centaurs, Will St. John, he's a junior, he wears number 1. Garrett Bush, he's a senior, number 3. Lucas Quersha, number 12, is a junior. The aforementioned Brady Erickson wears number 14. He won't be hard to miss. He's a senior. And Caleb Simino wears number 15, and he is a junior. We'll put up the NFA starters on the screen for you now. You can see Josh Lavoie, number 0. He's a sophomore. Javon Thompson wears number 2. He is a senior. Jameer Ford, another sophomore, number 4. Carter Stringer wears number 10, another sophomore. His sister plays for the girls team. And number 13, Jayandre Pontus, is a junior for the Wildcats, who again are coached by Jeff Brown, and Woodstock is coached by Dante Adams. We're about to hear the national anthem, so we will pause and listen to that with the voice of Alumni Jim, Bob Maloff, who has probably sung this. Oh, even better. Special guest. Stay tuned. Charles, NFA class of 2024, bringing down the house a little bit there, Jim.
Awesome.
No offense.
I got chills.
No offense to Bob Maloff, but it's much more fun listening to Naima.
A soprano is preferable over the baritone.
So let's talk a little bit about who's not on the court right now for the Wildcats. Ethan Graham. Ethan's been playing a major role for this team in the past couple of years, but he is missing this one due to an injured ankle. And given his role in the middle, now granted he's not 6'6", but he would have had an impact against Erickson, presumably.
Yeah, he plays. He's one of those guys that the coaching adage, plays bigger than his height. He's knowledgeable. He reads angles on shots, and he can get a lot of rebounds, and he boxes out well. So I would assume that's going to be Pontus tonight. But it might have to be a team effort. We'll see what NFA opens up in. If they come out in man, I think Pontus is going to have the first assignment on Big Erickson. But the guard play for NFA should be superior to Woodstock, so that's where they'll have an advantage. Let's see how it plays out.
Each of these teams had 10 wins last season, and they played one time last year. NFA won that matchup 54-47, and this is the only time that we're playing Woodstock this year. Here we go. Woodstock wins the tip. Bushy, that's Simino, Quersha, Erickson underneath.
And NFA is in a 2-3 zone to open up, Mike.
Garrett Bushy wears number 3. He's got a brother on the team as well. That's Will. That's him, number 23. Three-pointer up, no good. Rebound comes down to Javon Thompson.
Good defensive possession from the Wildcats, forced a wild 3.
So this is Lavoie. He's a sophomore, and also he's a captain, which to me says a lot about his role already on this team. Jameer Ford steps up for 3, no good. Loose ball, we call that a team offensive rebound for the Wildcats.
There you see some of those jitters as that shot didn't look like the normal shot that we see Jameer shooting. That's that first game jitters, trying to get that out of your system.
Not sure what the discussion is here.
Didn't hit the rim, so the shot clock should not reset. I think that's what they're going to discuss right now.
So they'll move it a little below. I don't know how they're going to figure that out. There's 7:05 left in the first. It is scoreless. So Ford's shot did not hit the rim. So Coach Giusti always has the eye for those little details. And now we wait to see how they adjust the shot clock.
Yeah, without the luxury of the replay, I wonder. Looks like they're just going to let it
leave
slide.
It at 34.
Yeah.
Stringer's going to inbound the ball. That's Pontus. Back out Ford. This is Javon Thompson, number 2. Lavoie. Josh drives, elbow, first shot, no good. Rebound's going to come down to Lucas Quersha for the Centaurs.
And the Centaurs were in man-to-man on those first 2 possessions.
Lavoie causing some havoc up top, but he's going to get called for the foul, the first one of the game.
Yeah, NFA in the 2-3 zone, but they're trying to extend a little bit of pressure on those guards. Lavoie got a little handsy there, picked up the nickel dimer.
Simino inbounds the ball all the way back to Quersha. He's got Lavoie. This is Simino. Garrett Bushy tries to get it over to Quersha. Ball's out of bounds. Woodstock's claiming it was tapped. That is not going to fly.
NFA zone giving Woodstock some problems now. They're not able to get Erickson a touch yet.
So we've played 1 minute and 40 seconds. We have no scores. 0-0, 6:15 left in the first. This is Jameer Ford. That's Josh Lavoie. Javon Thompson. Looking for Pontus underneath. Thought he had a window there. Stringer, Lavoie. That's got to be an easy shot for Pontus. No good. Rebound pulled down by Will Bushy. So this is Will Bushy for 3. His first shot in and out. Can't go. Stringer pulls down the rebound. Thompson pushes to Ford, right side. Underneath now to Thompson. Little give and go with them. Pontus. Shot clock at 17. Ford's going to drive, not going to make it. Pontus tips the ball out of bounds, goes to Woodstock.
Yeah, sloppy, and this is what I was talking about, Mike. Those opening night jitters. You got to see that first one go down, and then you can exhale. And I like what Coach Brown's doing here. Extend a little pressure, maybe create some offense from defense.
Woodstock gets the ball over with no problem. A little bit of travel there, and that's where they get him. Ball was tipped by Pontus into the hands of Stringer, and now Lavoie has it the other way. Carter's going to fire long range, no good. Erickson, his first touch of the night, and look at him bring the ball up the court at 6'6". This is Garrett Bushy, this is Simino. Nice move for himself. Gets it to Quersha, back to Garrett Bushy. Over to his brother Will, back to Garrett. The Bushy brothers are on the court right now. This is Quersha. Oh, he tried to get it to Erickson, and Pontus just stepped right in front of him. Easy turnover there, and we are still scoreless more than 3 minutes in to the first quarter.
Woodstock playing some pretty good man-to-man. NFA's not able to get anything easy right now. Did have one layup attempt that they missed. Otherwise, nothing too easy.
Jameer Ford tries to get it to Thompson. Tried to get the ball off the Woodstock player out of bounds, but Garrett Bushy saved it, and this is Simino back the other way. Both teams unable to find the basket. Halfway through the first quarter, just about. Will Bushy inside to Erickson, quickly draws a crowd. Back to Will Bushy. 3-pointer for Will Bushy.
Well, the inside-out 3 is the best type of 3, Mike. You're squared up when you catch the ball, and all you have to do is rise and fire. They finally got it into Erickson, and it paid off.
3:52 left in the first. Centaurs with a 3-0 lead. Low scoring here early on. Lavoie's going to drive, draw contact. I was going to say, there's got to be something there, Coach.
They got him on the floor, so NFA will take it on the baseline.
That foul's on number 12. That's Lucas Quersha. That's his first. Matt Hernandez wears number 5 for Woodstock. He's checked in for Caleb Simino. And that's a sloppy turnover for the Wildcats.
Yeah, that's 3 straight turnovers for NFA. Got to get some shots. Still trying to feel it out, catch their breath here. Opening night.
Will Bushy inbounds the ball to Quercia. That's Hernandez. He's the new player for the Centaurs. Quercia. They're going to get Javon Thompson. That's going to be his first, second on the team. Aggressive move.
No, the zone looks good. You know, like I said, they finally got it into Erickson, did Woodstock. The NFA triple teamed them, and that left Bushy open on the perimeter.
There's a nice play. Oh, wow, Pontus. I thought we were just going to lose a layup there on a nicely drawn up inbounds play, but Jayandre Pontus has other ideas.
Return to sender, Mike.
There you go, address unknown. Matt Hernandez, long distance 3, no good. Thompson, Javon pulls down the rebound, tries to move the other way. This is Lavoie, still looking to get our first basket of the season. Carter Stringer inside to Pontus. He's got second thoughts. Ford, shot clock's at 17. Plenty of time. Lavoie's going to take it in. Find Javon. From the baseline, nothing. Rebound, Simino. Wow, Hernandez thought about that from long distance.
NFA man-to-man now.
2:35 left to go in the first quarter. Hernandez loses the dribble, gets it back to Garrett Bushy from the free throw line. Quercia inside to Erickson, going to work, no good. Pontus, box out, pull down the rebound. Great job, Jayandre. Can this be the possession? We change the scoreboard. Javon Thompson, he's going to take it in. Floats it, no good. Pontus, impressive rebound. Stringer long range, no good. And Pontus avoids the offensive foul. Quercia Centaurs. NFA still in man. Lavoie playing hard defense with 1 foul. Will Bushy's going to lose the ball out of bounds, go to NFA.
Fourth turnover for the Centaurs.
Two
NFA has 3. Sorry,
multiple
Mike.
substitutions here for Woodstock. Number 30, Carter Tossetti checks into the game. And for the Wildcats, number 3, Keegan Johnston, and number 1, Kai Soria. Lavoie sits down, as does Pontus for NFA. Oh, the ball is still with Woodstock. I thought it was going down the other end.
Oh, yeah, take that turnover away.
Quercia inbounds. Garrett Bushy. Wow, passes up an easy one, sends it out deep to Matt Hernandez, and now we know why.
Buckets.
2 3-pointers for the Centaurs, gives them a 6-0 lead with 1:34 left to go in the first quarter. The Wildcats are quiet.
And the Centaurs still playing man-to-man.
Keegan Johnson, he's got 3-point distance, but he's going to drive to the hole, try to get something, contact on Erickson. That does not work. Back the other way, Matt Hernandez is going to take a layup, and he's going to draw the foul and go to the line.
Yeah, one of the things I kind of like about how Woodstock is playing defense is they're having Erickson really sag off and just kind of it's almost like a dot and 4. We always joked about it, you know, about the box and 1.
Right.
But there's a dot and 4 where you got 4 men playing tight man, and Erickson's just kind of patrolling the paint. There's no defensive 3 seconds in high school basketball, and that's discouraging the Wildcats kind of from going inside.
So that was the second foul on Carter Stringer. So he's got 2. We'll see if Coach Brown keeps him in. Hernandez makes 1 of 2. He's got 4 of the 7 points for Woodstock. And it's 7-0 with just about 1 minute left to go here in the first quarter. We need a bucket. I'm not sure we're in must-score possession mode, but we're close.
Yeah, I think you want to pull Erickson out. So whoever Erickson is guarding,
well, he's out right now.
Timeout, NFL.
Coach Brown obviously wanting to talk things over here. I thought we had a nice start to the possession right there before the timeout came up. This is going to be a full timeout.
Yeah.
So, Coach, I mean, what's he telling them? I mean, they haven't been able to get any points on the board. What's the message here?
Yeah, I think you want to make sure that you're getting good shots. Like I said, I would try to get Erickson away from the basket and try to utilize your athleticism and speed with Erickson out of the paint. But I don't know if there's a certain set that he wants right now or if there's something that he didn't like. You know, coaches notice things that, you know, we wouldn't notice based on what they're trying to do out there. So that it could be any of those things that he's talking about right now. NFA 0 of 8 in this quarter for the game, and they're 0 of 2 from three-point land.
And interestingly enough, the 2 baskets that Woodstock has scored has come from three-point land. They have nothing from Erickson. They have a three-pointer each from Will Bushy and Matt Hernandez, and Hernandez is off and also added in a free throw.
Yeah, Woodstock's attempted 6 shots. 5 of them have been threes. And the only 2, that was Erickson missing inside.
All right, so we've got Soria, Thompson, Ford, Stringer, and Johnston on the court for NFA. Stringer, who's going to inbound the ball, has 2 fouls. 48 seconds left to go in the first. 11 seconds on the shot clock. Can we get on the board? Ford, Johnston, back to Ford. Jameer fires long range. There it is.
Beautiful play.
There it is. Jameer Ford with the first bucket of the year for the NFA Wildcats. Trailing 7-3 now with 30 seconds left. About a 6-second differential between the game clock and the shot clock. The shot clock is at 20. This is going to be a kick ball. Trying to get a little backdoor move there, and Carter said no.
That should reset the shot clock on the kickball.
Doesn't look like they're resetting it. There it goes. So 24.6 seconds left in the quarter. So the shot clock is off. 7-3 Centaurs. A very inefficient shooting performance for both teams here. Student section getting a little warning there from the official as the ball's being inbounded right in front of them. This is Quersha. Lucas Quersha has Carter Stringer. The clock is at 17. Garrett Bushy's going to drive, and Javon Thompson's going to get it out of there. We've got 10 seconds left here. Plenty of time for the Wildcats to come up with a shot and cut into this deficit. Javon had ideas for a 3 and then lost it. This is the longest 10 seconds of my life. And we end up with an opportunity to get a bucket. We get none, but thankfully neither does Woodstock. So the first quarter ends. Not a very thrilling first quarter. 7 for the Centaurs, 3 for your Wildcats.
Yeah, and it could be worse, right? Because, you know, NFA looked out of sorts on offense, but their defense really held them in this quarter so far. They've created a lot of turnovers and forced some wild threes, especially early in the game. 2 big block shots when Woodstock had some activity inside. So they're playing strong defense and only down 4 despite, you know, not really doing much on offense. Nice set piece, to steal a soccer term from Coach Brown, using that timeout to get a nice baseline out of bounds play for the open 3 in the corner. And Ford was able to hit it to give NFA their only points of the quarter.
Now, granted, we've only scored 3 points, but the message really, look, we're only down 4.
Absolutely.
Right? You played the first quarter, you're down 4.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if we have 1, 20, or 100. We're down 4.
Yep, especially game 1. You know, that's, you know, now it's like, all right, guys, we got that out of our system. You know,
right.
You know, now you know what you got to do, and you got 3 more quarters to play. It's not as terrible a situation as you might think, just looking, you know, at it from the scoreboard perspective.
Keegan Johnston inbounds the ball to Josh Lavoie. He's got Jameer Ford, Javon Thompson, and Akai Soria with him. Carter to Lucas Quersha and Garrett Bushy on the floor for the Centaurs. Shot clock at 18. Keegan pulls up inside the elbow, can't make it. Lavoie with the rebound. Soria going up against the big guy, or not. Kicks it back out to Lavoie, to Ford. Can he get his second one? Yes, he can. Jameer Ford.
Just like that, it's a 1-point game, Mike.
Pressure's on here from the Wildcats. Ford and Lavoie causing some trouble there, but Korsha brings it over. Soria very active so far, but loses position there. Hernandez, nothing, no call. Loose ball on the floor to Korsha. That's Hernandez looking for another three-pointer, and he gets it. Matt Hernandez, 7 points on the night, outscoring the Wildcats, and has 70% of his team scoring.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising, you know.
You're not impressed with my math there? He has 70% of his team scoring?
I'm impressed with everything you do, Mike. But I'm just a little surprised that, you know, Erickson hasn't gotten more touches, but, I mean, whatever works. That's why I'm up here.
Johnston takes it all the way in the backcourt. 6:50 to go in the second, 10-6 Centaurs. You know, I mean, there's different theories, right? You can't let Erickson beat you, and you put so much focus on him, and then his teammates step up, which they're doing so far. Jameer Ford challenges him. Maybe that wasn't the right decision. Tassetti gets it to Quersha. I think Jameer was hoping to draw some body contact.
Yeah, you see the athleticism from Erickson. That's not Andy Pettit out there. And he finally gets a bucket, Mike.
He finally does. 12-6, they've doubled us up. Their biggest lead of, no, they had 7, so 7 is their biggest lead. Keegan from way downtown. That's off the back rim, and it's pulled down by one of the Bushies, who loses it to Quersha. Akai Soria is all over the place. Garrett Bushy's 3 is short. He's going to try it again, and that one is long. Keegan pulls it down. Jameer's wide open. Let's go. He's got no help.
Transition.
And he loses the ball out of bounds to nobody.
No easy baskets for NFA. They have not had one odd man rush to steal a hockey term. It's still a soccer term.
Yeah,
now I've stole the hockey term.
I'm waiting for the curling to come in. So, speaking of coming in, Carter Stringer back in the game, and check in for the first time another sophomore, number 15, Rashawn Klahar. He's making a name for himself on the football field as well as hopefully on the basketball court.
But no transition opportunities for NFA, and I think that's something that they got to look to get going here as the game progresses.
Also into the game that's got to be an offensive foul, the way his hand was all over him. But they're going to call it on Jameer. I don't like that call.
Yeah, it looked like there was some hooking action there on the offensive player, but they're going to get the contact before.
Number 11 for Woodstock, Gabe Luperon. He also checks in. Brown was demonstrating that hooking maneuver, but to no avail. This is Matt Hernandez. This is Luperon. He drives, gets it back to Garrett Bushy. Double teamed. Shot clock's at 22, plenty of time. Shot's no good. Ford comes down with a rebound. Inadvertent contact, no call. 5 minutes left to go in the second. The Wildcats trail by 6. Oh, I like Lavoie's vision there, Coach.
He's got to continue the cut.
Ball's
Thompson stopped his cut midway through.
out of bounds off of Woodstock, so the Wildcats catch a break. Stringer triggers it. Klahar, Lavoie, Carter in the corner for long-range 3. Bam!
Needed it.
His sister hit 3 threes last night, and he's got one right now. 12-9. 4:45 left in the half. Oh, yeah. Saw that one coming a mile away, Coach. And he's going to get a technical foul for hanging on the rim.
Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. This guy's got a Division I, potentially professional baseball career. I didn't think there was a showboat there. I don't like that call.
We're going to disagree. There was nobody underneath him.
Yeah, but you don't know.
I don't know what. There was nobody underneath him. Tell me what I don't know on this one.
I'm saying he doesn't know. You knew. You
Fair.
knew.
Okay.
You knew.
Fair.
Yeah. He doesn't know, and I don't think, maybe, hey, you look at, I think they've allowed that a lot more in college and the pros because of all these catastrophic knee injuries.
Right.
But hey, the referee has the final say on that.
So Lavoie goes to the line and sings them both.
A stringer.
A stringer, sorry, thank you.
No worries.
Yeah, this is why we make a good team. Of course
But
not.
that's big. That was big for NFA because that's a big momentum for Woodstock, breaking the press, and that also counts as a personal foul on Erickson.
So it was 14-9 when that happened, Woodstock. And we get 2 in the ball. Stringer corrected, thanks to my partner, sinks them both. And now it's 14-11 and a chance to tie it up. Javon Thompson goes right inside. So Erickson is out of the game right now as well.
But I like the full court press, and especially now that the Centaurs don't have Erickson in the back, they don't have somebody they can lob it up to. Well, check that. Here he comes.
So Klahar picks up the foul. Erickson checks back into the game, as does Pontus and Johnston for the Wildcats.
But you see what I was talking about, Mike. Like I said, that's not your typical like left-handed pitcher out there. This guy, he's a hooper too.
He's a super hooper.
There you go.
Yeah, not my best work. Matt Hernandez looking for long range. He can't get it. Simino is blocked underneath, gets the ball to Erickson, who's immediately hounded by 3 Wildcats. They're making him work for it, and Hernandez is not bashful. That's at least his 5th attempt from 3. And Lavoie comes down with a rebound with 3:54 left in the first half. Wildcats trailing by 3. Keegan from just inside the arc, and he makes his first bucket.
Yeah, and that shot will be open. Like, that Woodstock is giving that shot up. They're doing a good job of not letting NFA get to the basket, but they are giving up those mid-range jumpers. If NFA can start to hit them, they'll be back.
Turnover here for the Wildcats. Klahar with the ball. He sees Stringer. Carter, no good from long range. And here come the Centaurs looking to extend a 1-point lead. 14-13 Woodstock. Lou Perron, he is fouled. That's going to be Klahar. That's going to be his second. So, Coach, one thing I guess I'm looking for clarity on, unless the scoreboard is wrong, I don't think they counted Erickson's, maybe they counted as a personal, not a team? Because they show Woodstock with only 1 foul, and I believe they have 2. We'll have to get some clarity of that at the half.
Yeah.
Number 11, Gabe Luperon. First shot is good. Matt Hernandez sits down, and Drake Abdulowski checks in for the first time. 1 of 2 for Gabe. Stringer with the rebound. 15-13, 3:05 left. First half. Wildcats and Centaurs. NFA's first game of the year. Second for Woodstock. Josh Lavoie. Wow, that was pretty, Coach.
Yeah, that shot's going to be open.
That was pretty.
And you see they're playing with a lot more confidence now that a couple shots have fallen.
Turnover, Lavoie. 2 buckets in a row for Josh Lavoie. 17-15, first lead of the night for the Wildcats. Pressure is on. Lucas Quersha trying to break it. Oh. Well, it's either 3 on Klahar or 2 on Lavoie. It's going to be 2 on Josh.
Yeah, I don't like that call either, but
Coach Brown saying let him play.
it usually balances out. You know, you got the technical and.
So what do you do with Josh here? He's got 2 with 2:32 left in the half. You keep him on the floor?
That's a tough one. Without knowing who you got, you might have to.
I put him on the bench.
You might have to because you might not have anybody that's ready yet at this point in the season to take over the reins at point.
Lucas Quersha, Lavoie on him, and that's the thing. Josh is not going to stop being aggressive. That's where I'm worried. They're going to call that a jump ball. I mean, I love this about the kid. He's playing hard, and we got a little bit of some pre-fracas action.
Yeah, that was close. I mean, and now Jeff took him out. Coach Brown took Josh out after that last interaction, because that definitely was a 50-50 situation, whether it could be a jump ball or a foul.
Well, you know he's not going to stop. He's not going to lower his intensity level. That's why I'm concerned about having him on the floor.
But at some point, you got to learn not to.
And those are the words of wisdom. Will Bushy took a long-range shot, got his own rebound, drew the foul, and that's unfortunately the third on Carter Stringer. So this is not helping. Bushy's going to go to the line, miss the first. He's going to get one more. Why are we not letting the subs in? Here we go. Javon Thompson comes back in, puts Stringer on the bench with 3. So your starting backcourt has 5 fouls between the two of them. Bushy can't make either one. Again, fights for the rebound. And here comes Keegan Johnson. He's going to run the point with 2 minutes and 4 seconds left in the half. Wildcats clinging to a 2-point lead.
Woodstock's gone to a zone now.
Soria, Thompson, Johnston, Pontus, and Klahar on the floor for the Wildcats. Rushawn skips it across to Keegan. Keegan, nice move. Faked it in the corner and then took it himself for his second bucket of the night. His 4 points give us a 4-point lead, and Rushawn Klahar picks up his third foul.
Yeah, Johnston's been clutch off the bench. He's given them some much-needed offense, and it's kind of let everybody else kind of exhale and relax a little bit. So that's what you need from a veteran player, and he's come in and done his job.
So Rushawn Klahar picks up his third, who joins Stringer on the bench with 3 and Lavoie with 2. He's going to be replaced momentarily by Jameer Ford.
And that's just a young team that needs to learn that in the era of the shot clock, you don't need to get a steal when you press.
Right.
You know, you're making Woodstock run clock by having to use their press break and pass it around. And they're going to end up getting a bad shot because of that. You bail them out when you reach in.
Bushy makes the second. So Woodstock is 3 for 8 from the line. They trail by 3 with 1:25 left. Keegan can't get it. Soria, nice rebound. I believe we're staying here.
Yeah, great offensive rebound by Soria.
I'll tell you, he's been impressive in at least the way he's been moving around. Drake Abdulovsky, who's a freshman, picks up his first foul. It's going to send Soria to the line. Kai makes the first. So the Wildcats are 3 for 3 so far from the line. Of course, I jinxed it. Happens every single time. Oh, 23, Will Bushy is not happy. That's the second time Bushy's getting fired up. We got alternating possession, I believe. Why is this our ball? What did I miss, Coach? They didn't call a foul. Yeah, Bob Maloff buzzing the horn is going to bring him to the table. So there was no foul called on the play. The arrow has not moved. So I'm not sure why NFA has the ball right now. The officials are going to talk it over. We have 1 minute and 8 seconds left to go in the second quarter. NFA has a 20-16 lead.
Nice bounce back here from the Wildcats in the second quarter, Mike. Only 3 points in the first quarter, 17 points. Very solid second quarter, and starting to look more and more comfortable with each possession.
Well, we're on an 11-2 run, Coach. It was 14-9 at the 4:37 mark when that technical went down on Erickson. And since that point, we have outscored them 11-2.
That was a big turning point.
So I'm still not sure why we have the ball, but we have it. And Javon Thompson gets a bucket.
Nice
The arrow has not changed. So I'm not sure what the call was. No foul, no arrow. We'll take the points.
Again, no need to foul there if you're the Wildcats. Your Centaurs are getting flustered, they're frustrated, and when you put them on the line now, this foul gets the walk down court to the free throw line where they get to shoot. Now, they haven't done themselves any favors here at the free throw line. That's part of the reason they're down 6. But NFA just needs to learn that. Just let them throw the ball around the gym.
Second foul on Javon Thompson. So the foul's racking up for the Wildcats. Caleb Simino is at the line. They are 3 for 8 so far. Simino badly misses the first one.
Shut the windows.
Badly. He misses them both. They are 3 for 10. And Keegan Johnston with the ball. He finds its way into Pontus, who challenges Erickson. Nice. Listen to the crowd, Coach. 24 to 16. Woodstock calls a timeout. 43.7 seconds left in the half. I'm just going to tell you, it was 14 to 9 at the 4:37 mark. And since that point, we have gone on a 15 to 2 run.
Yeah, it started with the 2 free throws on the technical foul after the alley-oop dunk. And, you know, credit to NFA, whether or not Woodstock is going to say that they disagree with the call, NFA continued to put their foot on the gas pedal, and Woodstock has continued to unravel. And like you said, they haven't done themselves any favors from the charity stripe, 3 of 10. So those shots are not free tonight.
No, they are not. So we've got Soria, Ford, Thompson, Johnston, Pontus on the court for the Wildcats for these last 43 seconds. And just a heads up, when we get to halftime, we'll have a brief recap, and then we're going to get to a special video that we'll talk to you about momentarily. So, what's happening here now? Did they just call a technical foul? I believe they just called a technical foul on number 15.
So Ford will shoot the free throws.
Missed the first. He must have said something under his breath because there was nothing else there, and the ref walked over, gave the T signal, and the...
I don't think it was under his breath, Mike.
Unfortunately, Ford misses 2. So the Wildcats are 3 for 6 from the line. 24 to 16. This is where we need one of those mics on the floor to catch all this action.
Yeah, some things are best not heard though on the broadcast. We could pretty much figure out there's probably 2 or 3 things that he probably said.
Should we try to guess?
No.
There's an easy bucket for Akai Soria. Coach, I'm going to tell you, Soria has made the difference off the bench. He and Johnston have had an instant impact for this team. 19 seconds left. Shot clock is off. Woodstock trying to get up and get a basket. Another loose one. Keegan to Jameer. He's going to go all the way in and find himself at the free throw line.
And credit to Coach Brown. That timeout, that when in the first quarter when he got Jameer that open 3 in the corner that Jameer was able to hit, it's really unlocked Jameer's aggressiveness. He's looked like a different player since that first shot fell.
Except he's missed his first 3 free throws. Josiah Success, number 34, checks in. He's going to give Pontus a break for the final 9. Pontus also been very active. No points, but he's played, he has 2. But he's played very well underneath. And Ford can't make either one. Gets his own rebound. A chance for the Wildcats to try to get something up here. Not sure what we have. Did he get the timeout off? I believe he did.
So they'll have
1.7 left. I almost feel like I would have rather had that clock run out, but they don't know that.
Well, from where the ball's going to be inbounded here on the sideline, might be able to draw something up and get a three-point shot off.
I mean, it's 1.7, so they do have a chance for a quick pass or a dribble, right?
Plenty of time, plenty of time. The key is going to be just getting somebody open facing the basket and not coming back towards the NFA bench. If you got somebody catching it coming towards the NFA bench, that's going to create difficulty turning and shooting. But if you can get somebody catching it facing the basket, you're going to get a really good look here with a chance to go up by more than 10. But what an incredible bounce back here by the Wildcats in the second quarter, and that's kind of what we talked about in the pregame. I think Woodstock did have that slight advantage getting some of the rust off on Thursday night, and we just saw a rusty Wildcat squad in the first quarter tonight.
So we've got Soria, Thompson, Johnston, Ford, and Success. Keegan's going to be the trigger. I'm going to make a prediction here, Coach. The ball's coming in. It's going right back to Keegan for a shot. Look at that. Dial me up.
It was nice.
It was nice. A good play there by Coach Brown. So halftime here at Alumni Gym, 26-16 Wildcats after a very slow start. Turned it on after that technical foul, and then went on a 17-2 run. Coach, before we go any further, let's just get a quick look here at the NFA cheerleaders and what they're going to do, and then we'll come back and talk a little more. Quick and easy. And while we're still tallying up some first half stats, so each game this year we're going to have some special features at halftime that come to us from the students in our digital media class who are taught by Sheree Fitzgerald. And this story you're going to watch is about some middle schoolers in Preston who had a chance to learn about the trades from none other than Electric Boat. So let's roll to that video.
It's not every day that elementary school students meet with experts in the field of shipbuilding. However, nestled in southeastern Connecticut, these fifth grade students are able to learn from the best boat builders in the world.
Boats for Kids is an exciting opportunity for us. It's a program completely run by EB to teach students some of the applicable skills and trades that they do there.
Students of Preston Public Veterans Memorial School have the rare opportunity to learn about various trades in the boat building industry. This particular session, students learned about welding with Kevin Pellerin, supervisor of the weld school, along with Anya Pinnell, Career and Technical Education Director for Goodwin University.
The students are learning about the different trades of electric boat and what they have to offer. So there's the main trades of welding, ship fitting, sheet metal, electrical, pipe fitting, and machining. And so there's a whole pipeline from elementary to high school.
While learning about these trades in hands-on manner can be risky at any age, EV uses creative ways to illuminate the concept of welding.
We are doing an activity called Cheese Whiz Welding. And so this activity teaches them about welding and ship fitting. They will be using the Cheese Whiz as a torch mechanism to replicate a welding torch, and then the crackers are actually replicating metal.
Getting the experience young means more minds are getting to know the world of trades and developing new interests. The Preston 5th grade class enjoys the workforce a little more than you may think.
I like that they're building submarines for the Navy and all the fun activities that they're doing with us.
I like doing the activities and learning about submarines.
Looking forward, the Boats for Kids program will play a significant role in developing teamwork among the students and teaching them about different trades. From Preston Veterans Memorial School, I am Leah Marsh, on camera with Peyton Mick, reporting for Wildcat News.
And we're back. Halftime underway here in Alumni Gym on the campus of Norwich Free Academy. I'm Mike O'Farrell along with Chris Giusti, and I tell you, Jack Frost is not nipping at our nose or our toes or whatever up here in our neck of the woods, Coach.
It's steamy up here in the...
As I said before, the chestnuts are roasting on an open fire. So the Wildcats, after a slow start, are now the owners of a 10-point lead at halftime, which is good news.
Yeah, 10 of 25 overall, but they were 1 of 9 in the first quarter. So 9 of 14, 9 of 16 in the second quarter, well above 50%. 3 of 7 from three-point land, not too shabby.
3 of 8 from the line.
Yeah.
Could be a little bit better there.
Yeah.
So scoring for the Wildcats, Jayandre Pontus has 2 points, as does Javon Thompson. Akai Soria off the bench with 3 points. Keegan Johnston off the bench with 4 very important points, I thought. Carter Stringer hit the first bucket of the year for the NFA Wildcats. It was a 3-pointer. He added a couple of free throws to have 5. Josh Lavoie had 4 points and the leading scorer in the first half for NFA. Number 4, sophomore Jameer Ford with 6 points, both coming off of 3-pointers. If you go on the other side, the name that we were expecting to talk about in this first half was Brady Erickson. He has 4. Also scoring for the Centaurs, Will Bushy has 3. Gabe Luperon has 1. Garrett Bushy has 1. And Matt Hernandez leads the way for Woodstock with 7 points, which came off of 2 3-pointers, and he probably missed 6 or 7. He was firing long range early on. Woodstock shot 3 for 10 from the line. They did not help themselves there. And the biggest moment of the game was 4:37 left in the half. Woodstock with a 14-9 lead, a 5-point lead at that time. Erickson draws a tee for, what would you even call it? Celebration?
Yeah.
Unsportsmanlike?
Yeah, unsportsmanlike, hanging on the rim.
Hanging on the rim. We are in a disagreement whether that should have been a technical, but it doesn't matter. It was. And from that point on, the Wildcats went on a 17-2 run to close out the half and give themselves a significant lead here at the half.
Yeah, and that's the only factual part that matters. That's the factual part that matters. Whether or not either coach, like obviously Coach Brown would probably agree with the call, and Woodstock disagrees with the call, but you and I, different opinions, but it's how you respond. Coach Curlin used to call it the next best action, NBA. We used to emphasize that all the time. What is the next best action that you can now do to help your team? And at that point, it seemed like Woodstock started to get frustrated. NFA turned up the juice, no pun intended, and they started to get some shots to fall. And despite the fact that they fouled a lot, Woodstock wasn't able to cash in from the free throw line, and NFA was able to hit a couple mid-range jumpers, and that train starts rolling. Once that train starts rolling, the confidence gets going, and some more shots started to fall, and now NFA looks like they're in complete control. Now, these first 4 minutes are super important to start the second half, and then it will determine kind of how this game is going to go for the rest of the way. If NFA comes out and continues to play like they did throughout the second quarter, this could get away from us, and we start going into our filler material. But if Woodstock comes out of the locker room and they turn it up and they start to get back to where they were earlier in the game, then it could be competitive again.
One thing strikes me from our vantage point here high above. I see a number of the NFA girls basketball team members here. They had a win last night over Bacon, 43-40. That, Coach, if you had seen it, you would have pulled your hair out.
Well, I talked to Coach Gomez today, and she said, we're not very good. I said, Coach, who's the best team in the league that you're trying to beat? And she said, probably Bacon.
Right.
Didn't you just beat Bacon?
Right. At the end of the night, I went over, I said, Coach, you're 2-0. And she said, oh, but it was ugly. I'm like, if I told you a week ago that you're going to be 2-0 and your second win is over Bacon, you'd be happy. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And but it was it's the same type of thing. I mean, you talked early on about getting rid of the jitters, and you could see it firsthand. And I think where I draw the irony is Carter Stringer buried his first 3-pointer tonight, which was the first points for the Wildcats. And his sister Brooke, who's a senior on the girls team, hit 3 3-pointers last night. And so, it was fun to see the Stringer siblings and their three-point prowess, I guess you could say, early on.
And their father played here for NFA, but coached many years at Woodstock Academy. So bring it around full circle.
Full circle.
And Coach Stringer and I coached against each other at the JV level for many years when Coach Curlin was the head coach at NFA and Coach Molesky, who's now the head coach of Griswold, also an NFA grad. He was the head coach at Woodstock, and Coach Stringer and I, we had some battles in the JV level. One time we had a triple overtime JV game here, and Coach Curlin was beside himself. The varsity game I don't think started until 7:45. I was like, Coach, wasn't that exciting? No. You either lose or you go for the win. You do not go for the tie at the end of regulation
in a JV game.
Of a JV game.
I love it.
And once I became varsity coach, I knew exactly what he meant.
So I didn't realize Rob Molesky coached at Woodstock. I thought he's just been at Griswold for a long time.
He's the JV coach here at NFA for a couple years under Coach Campbell and then under Coach Curlin.
Okay.
And then he got his first head coaching gig at Woodstock. And they were in the QVC back then, and then I think either in Mo's second or third year, they went to the ECC, and he had some good years with the Centaurs, but then he left to take his dream job at Griswold because that's where he lives, and
he's had a hell of a run.
He left the cupboard full, and Greg Smith won a state title, I think 1 or 2 years after Mo left for Griswold.
Second half just about to get underway. Lavoie, Ford, Stringer, Pontus, and Thompson. The first original starting five for NFA. Quersha, Simino, Erickson, and the Bushy brothers. The first original five for Woodstock.
NFA in the zone. Very active.
Matt Hernandez, no surprise, going for long range, and no surprise, Brady Erickson, tallest in the gym, camped underneath, gets the easy rebound in the bucket. 26-18, 35 seconds into the third quarter.
That's the start Woodstock needed. Now they need to get a stop. They're in a 3-2 zone. See how NFA attacks this.
Pontus, beautiful.
And that was textbook, getting into the gaps, finding the guy, diving to the basket.
Wildcats turnover, Javon Thompson. So Woodstock started how they wanted to, and NFA started clearly how they wanted to.
Yeah, the guard play, that was a concern going in. I said it in the pregame. I think that NFA would have the advantage at the guard play. They needed to make sure that they got a body on Erickson, but now this pressure is really bothering.
There's another one. Jameer, nice move to control the ball. Stringer, 3 in a row here for NFA if they can drain this. Lavoie has Erickson way out on him. So there's your notion to get him away from the basket. Pontus can't get it to roll. Rebound pulled down by Lucas Quersha. 30-18, 6:25 left. A long-range three from Simino, no good. Tipped in the backcourt by NFA. Woodstock comes back with it. Trailing by a dozen.
Yeah, the Centaurs are just taking the bait, you know. The NFA's leaving some jump shots open on the perimeter, and they're taking them, and that's not allowing Erickson to get the ball.
Look at that, Josh Lavoie. I thought that was going to be a better look there for Ford. Stringer's going to try three, can't get it. Javon pulls down a big board. Pontus, Lavoie, yes. Got to be a timeout coming here, isn't there, Coach? I'm thinking, but not so much. 32-18, it's up to 14. Josh picks up his third.
Yeah, the pressure has really hurt Woodstock tonight.
What do you do with that third foul at this point in the game? Are you concerned now, or are you only concerned when he gets to 4?
No, because of the lead, I think. It's not even so much the lead. It's the tenor of the game right now. You know, you can bring Johnston off the bench if necessary. Johnston will be able to handle the job if necessary. So I think you let Josh try to play through it and learn. You know, they're going to need him to play through fouls as the season goes on.
Woodstock easily breaks the press this time. This is Hernandez in his shooting range, which is any side of half court. There's a 3 long range from Will Bushy. That's his second trifecta of the game, and it's 32-21 now with 5:20 left to go in the third quarter. NFA had a 10-point lead at the half, and the lead now is 11. Is it going to be 14? Yes, it is, with Carter Stringer. He's going to be fun to watch, Coach. I'm looking forward to this backcourt of these two sophomores. The pressure's still on. Erickson underneath, but Hernandez tries to take it himself. That's no good. Thompson has the handle. 14-point lead now, 35-21. Javon working on Will Bushy. Josh is going to try it from long range. That's no good. And Will Bushy brings the ball down the other way. 12 is Portia, 5 is Hernandez, 14 is Erickson, and 3 is Garrett Bushy. Erickson.
Well, that's what Woodstock needed to do more often. They're settling for threes instead of getting that high-low action.
So he had 4 points in the first half, and he's already got 4 in the third quarter, and we're halfway through it. But NFA maintains a 12-point lead. Lavoie to Ford. Jameer will try a 3. He won't get it. Rebound cleared by Will Bushy, and here we go. I mean, just pound it in, right? Every time?
Absolutely. You need somebody at the high post so that you can get that high-low action.
But I don't think you want to keep settling for those. Maybe you do. Garrett Bushy hits his first.
That's obviously the game plan right now.
9 points now is the lead for the Wildcats with 3:45 left to go in the third quarter. So how do you assess Woodstock for their first 4 minutes? They've only cut 1 point off the lead. This is Lavoie. He's going to drive, and he's going to draw the foul on Lucas Quersha and get himself to the line.
Yeah, the defensive effort isn't what Woodstock needed. Unfortunately, they were able, well, fortunately for them, they were able to get some baskets, but unfortunately for them, they're not able to stop NFA. So NFA still has complete control of this game.
Lucas Quersha picked up his third foul. Lavoie to the line for the first time. He makes it to give him 7. And here come the 2 that I think made a huge impact off the bench in the first half. Akai Soria, he wears number 1, and Keegan Johnston, he wears number 3. Johnston a senior, Soria a junior, and Lavoie makes the second to give himself 8 points and to give the Wildcats back an 11-point lead. Erickson, you know where it's going. And look at it, Soria, that's my guy, Coach. All the way up to Thompson, and it's good. Akai Soria made that happen. And that's a bad foul.
Just a little over-aggressive there.
It's a bad foul, Coach. It's a bad foul.
Okay, Mike.
It's his third. He didn't need to do it.
No, just getting a little excited.
All right.
Excitable.
So am I.
Yes.
All right. Student section cheering on the Wildcats for a defensive effort. Matt Hernandez gets Stringer in the air, and that works and gets a bucket, a 2-pointer for him. And Coach Adams immediately calls a timeout with his team now down by 11. So, 39-28. It was a 10-point game at the half. It's now an 11-point game in favor of the Wildcats.
Yeah, so usually when a coach calls a timeout after a made basket, they're going to draw up some kind of defensive change, whether it be full court pressure, half court trap, or just a different defense. You know, that's usually the reason for this timeout right now after a made basket. I use these kinds of timeouts a lot. I like to change up defenses and give teams different looks after a made basket, either with the lead or you know, when you don't have the lead. When you don't have the lead, you're usually drawing something up that you're trying to create a turnover, because now the clock is ticking. Although with the shot clock era, I didn't get a chance to coach when the high school in Connecticut high schools had the shot clock, so we had to get back into the game by creating turnovers because the team could hold it for a minute or longer. But now you don't necessarily have to. That's what I was kind of referring to in the first half with NFA. You know, you can use pressure just to get the other team to run clock, and then they end up taking a bad shot because they wasted so much time. But Woodstock's not going to extend pressure here. They're just going to go back to man-to-man.
I'm surprised by that, because to me that's a little bit of a momentum killer for you. Lavoie tries to find Johnson on the baseline, can't do it. It's going to go down the other way. Stringer's going to take a seat for NFA, and Rashawn Plahar is going to check back in. He wears number 15. He's also one of these sophomores that we're going to be looking for in the next few years. Doesn't have any points. He's got 3 fouls, been very active. That's a three-pointer by number 12, Lucas Korsha. Gets him on the board for the first time and cuts the lead to 8. 39-31 Wildcats, 2:34 left in the third quarter.
Woodstock's hit their last 4 shots that they've taken.
Plahar, Lavoie. Nobody on that side to help him. Finds Plahar. He's going to drive in, looking to kick out. I don't think Pontus was his man. It was going to be Keegan. DeAndre's going to try 3, not going to make the rim. And here goes Woodstock looking to cut into this lead yet again. It was just 11. A bucket here will get it to 6. Bushy to Bushy. No good. Erickson nowhere to be found for the rebound, and Pontus comes down with it. A little bit of a collision there.
Yeah, good box out there by Pontus to get the rebound. You know, when Lavoie has the ball in his hands at the top of the key, you got to have a shooter on the side that he's driving to. You know, right now, you got Johnston in there, and Stringer's not in there right now. Ford's not in there right now. They've hit some threes, but he can drive and kick anytime. So you got to surround him with shooters so that he could create for those guys.
Akai Soria kicks it to Pontus. Erickson puts it back. Keegan's going to try a 3. Bam! Keegan Johnston from outside, left side, 42-31, back to an 11-point lead. Great minutes off the bench tonight by the senior, Keegan Johnston.
Yeah, critical buckets every time he's made a bucket. It's been a big moment for the Wildcats.
Another 3-point attempt for Woodstock, another 3-point made. This one from Will Bushy. That's 9 points for him, all on 3-pointers. So with 1 minute and 4 seconds left in the third, NFA clings to an 8-point lead. Johnston, Plahar, back to Keegan. Shot clock's at 20, game clock's at 53 in the third. Keegan directing traffic. Plahar, shot clock's in single digits. Keegan's going to try long range, barely hits the front of the rim, and Will Bushy brings down the rebound. So the shot clock has about a 6-second differential from the game clock, and Woodstock is looking to get this to 6. And of course, you go into Brady Erickson, and of course, he gets a bucket.
He's tough in there.
He's got 10 now, 6 in the third quarter, 6-point lead. Shot clock is off, 20 seconds left to go. The lead has been cut in half in about a minute. Wildcats want to go in with some momentum and hopefully an 8-point lead into the break between the third and the fourth quarter. Clock's at 5. Josh driving baseline. Oh, I don't blame you, Lucas Korsha, but look, I'm on the home team, so we're going to take it.
Not a shooting foul, though, Mike.
No, student section makes sure that he knows the rules, that he couldn't do that. His 4th foul, though, that's what's big about that. 3 seconds left. Soria inbounds. Yeah, we're going to get a foul there.
That was a smart foul, though, because Thompson had the seal in the layup, and that was not the 5th-team foul, so it's baseline out of bounds again.
So that's the second on Garrett Bushy, 4th on the team, as you mentioned. Soria's going to trigger, 1.7 left. Pontus, long-range 3 to end the quarter, just like they drew it up. I believe the official's calling it a 2.
Yep.
Calling it a 2. We're going to take a point off the board, I believe. Because we had a 6-point, there we go. So DeAndre Pontus hits the shot at the buzzer, his 6th point of the game, and an important one because now it gives us an 8-point lead heading into the fourth.
Yeah, that open jumper was created by the action on the block-to-block seal. They got it wide open the first time. The second time, Woodstock threw a lot more attention to the paint. Left Pontes open in the corner, probably the shot they live with, but you never want to leave anybody that wide open because wide open guys can make shots, and that's what Pontes did. So we're at a point in the game where Woodstock's still hanging around. They shot the ball very well in the third quarter. Defensively, did not do what they needed to do to stop NFA, but they shot it well enough to stay in the game, and we got an 8-minute ball game
well,
here,
they
Mike.
They cut the lead from 10 to 8, so at least they got that going for them. But here's the thing about that quarter, Coach. Woodstock put up 20 in that quarter. NFA put up 18. So, it was 26-16 at the half. So both teams clicking a little bit more here in the third quarter. So on the floor for Woodstock, Luperon, Bushy, Hernandez, and Erickson. For the Wildcats, Lavoie, Soria, Johnston, Pontes, and Thompson.
Woodstock in the man-to-man.
This is Pontes to Johnston. He gets by Luperon. He's going to throw it up. Oh, Keegan. He's my player of the game.
He's been
right
tough.
now, Coach.
Yeah, he's been tough, for sure.
He's got 9, but every one of them is coming at an important time. Senior leadership off the bench. That's another topic for us to talk about at some point. Senior leadership off the bench on a young team. Will Bushy inside to Erickson. They can't get it to him. Ball's on the floor. Luperon, ball's on the floor again. Bodies are on the floor. Oh, that's a technical foul right there, is what it should be. Will Bushy dropped his shoulder into Javon Thompson.
Unfortunately, Bushy got the worst of it.
He hurt himself.
He hit his head into Thompson's shoulder.
He brought that onto himself. If we had the ability for replay and roll that back, you'd see that. I'm impressed with the NFA reaction here. Coach Adams is looking for some information. Did they tee him up? The officials are coming to center court to have a conversation. So I guess both teams are at the bench. I'm thinking this is a technical conversation. We've had no signal of a timeout. Are there versions of flagrants in high school? I don't know that. I should know that.
There had to be a timeout called.
I don't think so, Coach. If they did, the officials did not indicate it. Yeah, well, this is a technical foul on Will Bushy because NFA is going to the line.
Good call, Mike.
Unless they're just calling it a flagrant.
No, it's a technical. There's no flagrants. It would be a technical.
Yeah, so that just went up for 23. So Coach Brown's looking for a little bit of information. Bushy definitely dropped himself on to, I think it was Thompson. And like you said,
yeah, it was Thompson's
he
shoulder.
took the worst of it.
Yeah, he catapulted himself into Thompson, but his head hit Thompson's shoulder. Thompson looks unfazed.
Smart move here by Coach Brown. Gets Stringer into the game to take the 2 technical shots. Maybe it wasn't a smart move.
Well, he hit the last 2 technicals, so
Yes,
I would have did the same thing.
Yes, he did. Misses them both. But it's still going to be NFA basketball. Up by 10, 7:13 left to go in the game. Technical foul was assessed to Will Bushy. He is now on the bench for Woodstock. NFA is unable to capitalize on the free throws as Stringer missed a pair. But we have the basketball. So referees stop the clock, reset the shot clock to 35 following the tee, which I think was right anyway. I'm not sure why they stopped it. And here we go, 7:08. Johnston, Javon, fake, no bucket. Erickson can't pull it down, but Garrett Bushy can. 6:55 left in the game. NFA with a 10-point lead over Woodstock. Luperon, he's going to drive, looking for Erickson, kicks it out to Garrett Bushy. Matt Hernandez finds Erickson for 3. Not where you want him. Keegan Johnson comes down with a rebound the other way. Keegan hands it off to Javon. Javon drives into a host of Woodstock players. Pontus by himself. Bam.
Pontus,
He's got 8, Coach.
two clutch buckets the last time he's touched the ball.
Sure does. He's got 8 on the night. I think he's played a really strong game.
Absolutely.
Might be battling my Keegan Johnston pick for player of the game. Luperon kicks it to Simoneau, who travels. 48-36. NFA on top.
Yeah, we talked about it in the pregame. NFA missing one of their key players, Ethan Graham, out with an ankle injury. And he's more than just a post player. He's more of a point forward. He's a cerebral player that helps out with communication, with leadership. So for these guys like Pontes and Johnston, Akai coming in and picking up the slack for their teammate who's injured, that's been clutch tonight for the Wildcats.
That's going to be the first foul on Keegan Johnston, despite his argument. Yeah, I mean, look, and what Graham doesn't bring in, there's not a lot of height on this team, so, but Ethan is all over. It just shows we're going to be a little bit deeper when he comes back. That's a good thing. Erickson's going to drive left hand, and he's going to get himself to the line.
Yeah, Pontus is a serviceable forward at this level, you know, especially if he's in a reserve role. You know, maybe you play him alongside Ethan Graham. NFA has options. You know, sometimes one door closes, another one opens. So that's a great opportunity tonight for Coach Brown to see what he's got on his bench.
Erickson misses the first. So, Coach, let's say you're the UConn baseball coach right now. How do you feel about Brady Erickson in this game?
That's my thoughts exactly.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the coach wants him to get a technical every time he dunks.
Erickson makes the second. He's got 11, 7 here in the second half. And it's an 11-point lead, 48-37 for the Wildcats. 5:20 left to go in the ball game.
And you know, UConn baseball is no joke.
No, they sure aren't. Look at that. Josh Lavoie goes up against him and gets his 10th point of the night. For a 13-point lead, the largest of the night here for the Wildcats. Erickson, a little bit too late. Erickson pulls it down, and here we go back the other way. I like that shot by Lavoie because he buries that. This place goes nuts. And quite frankly, it might have sealed it. Quersha looking for anybody. That's Garrett Bushy. Lavoie's on Erickson, and they can't get it to him. How about that? Luperon got to find a way to get it to Brady when Josh Lavoie's guarding him. But Lucas Quersha is going to bury the 2 instead. 50-39 now. We're almost halfway through the fourth quarter. An 11-point lead for the Wildcats. Jameer Ford, JeAndre Pontus, Keegan Johnston, Javon Thompson, and Josh Lavoie on the court for NFA. This is Lavoie, right in front of his own bench, trying to make something happen. Jameer long range, that's no good. Pontus keeps it alive, impressive. Thompson, Ford. Coach, the other thing we have to talk about at future broadcasts is the sneaker selection and how that's changed over the years. Pontus is going to draw the foul and find himself at the line. That foul's on Matt Hernandez. That's only 1 for him. JeAndre, who's had a great game, gets himself to the line for 2.
So you're talking about more low-top shoes or
I'm
colors?
talking about same player wearing different colored shoes. I'm talking about, I remember the days when the team wore everything together, right? Everybody's in red or black or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's gone. And the low tops and the 3/4 and, can't we just play in Chuck Taylor high top canvas
Not Chuck
sneakers?
Taylor. So we had too many.
Oh, come
we
on.
won't have any ankles left.
Old school. Pontus misses both. Thompson battling with Bushy for the alternating possession, which is going to go down to Woodstock.
There used to be a horse and wagon down Chelsea Parade as well, Mike.
Let's just file that one away for future discussion. Because, I'm sitting there, I'm looking at, some of these guys, like, do they have a matching pair at home? How does this work? But another day, another time. Lucas Quersha kicks it in the corner to Garrett Bushy, goes inside to Erickson, and there it is.
Yeah, just haven't done that enough for my liking. I would have force-fed the man.
So here's the thing, though, Coach. It's now a 9-point game.
Yeah, not out of reach.
It was just at 13, and now with 3:24 left, it's not. And if you look at it, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13, Brady Erickson has 9 of his 13 points here in the second half. You want more of that. But if you're Coach Adams, what's your message to your team down 9?
Well, you got to get a stop. And, whether it be that you're trying to get a turnover or you're trying to get a one and done, the shot clock allows you to play defense in a variety of ways right now. So you don't have to sell out and try to get a steal, but you can't let NFA score. You don't want to put them on the line. So you got to get a stop here, and then I would keep feeding the ball inside. You don't have to settle for threes. If you want to go that route, they pretty much have gone that route for the majority of this game. So.
Yeah, they've had 4 different guys hit 3-point shots. So let's go in the other huddle. What's Coach Brown telling his team now? Up 9, let's not get complacent, right?
Yeah, but you don't need silly shots, Woodstock, there should be no reason. You got timeouts. There should be no reason that Woodstock turns you over right now. There's nothing that they have shown that they are going to put a lot of pressure on your ball handlers or get you in a situation. If, for instance, that they trap you on the sideline or in the corner, you got timeouts to use. Don't make any silly plays. Make sure you get a good shot and get back on defense.
Lavoie, Ford, Thompson, Johnston, Pontus. Jay Andre says, yeah, I'll take it from here. Can't get it. Garrett Bushy comes down with the rebound, and Woodstock now has a chance to cut it to 7 or 6.
That was a good shot, though. You
can't argue with that.
Can't argue. You got to take that one. He's a little runner in the lane, about 7 feet.
3 minutes and 6 seconds left to go in the fourth. That seemed like it was close to 5. 28 on the shot clock, no problem here. It's a 3-possession game. Lavoie is hounding Quersha. Nice pass underneath to Garrett Bushy, and he's going to find himself at the line for 2.
Yeah, nice backdoor cut.
Second foul on Pontus, and this is the thing that you don't want if you're Jeff Brown, is Woodstock to score when the clock's not moving.
Exactly.
First one is good. Bushy has been at the line. This will be his 4th attempt. He's made 2 out of his first 3. And he calmly sinks that one, gives him 6 points, 3 free throws, and a 3-pointer. So now it's back to 7. It was just 13, and now it's 7 with 2:49 left. Need a good bucket, good possession here for the Wildcats. Ford looking for help from Keegan. Josh is down in the corner.
Yeah, this is where I want Josh to come up and just get the ball.
This is what you were talking about pregame. Because that's what happens. Turnover there. Keegan was trying to kick it back out. No opportunity to do so. And now we're at 2:25 with a chance to make this a 2-possession game for Woodstock. Inside they go to Erickson. Surprise, surprise. And there it is. That's too easy.
I mean, the guy is a beast.
50-45 now. 2:12 to go in the game. Coach Brown signal his team. Play composed. Calm down. It's a 2-possession game. The shot clock's at 20. The game clock's at 2 minutes left in the fourth. Ford, Johnston, Lavoie. Shot clock's at 10. Josh is in a bit of a predicament here, especially with the clock driving down. Clock's at 4. Ford for 3. No good. Out of bounds, going to stay NFA basketball. Beauty of that, the shot clock resets, and now it's 1:41 left in the game. 5-point lead for the Wildcats.
At least when Josh has the ball, he finds an open shooter, so you're going to get an open shot off. That's why I want him to have the ball. It's nothing against Keegan, and Keegan's played a great game. He's more of a scorer. So let's have Josh handle the ball and find Keegan for a shot.
So Keegan throws it to Josh all the way in the backcourt. Coach Brown's going to call a timeout and talk about it here. With 1:37 left, it's a 5-point lead for the Wildcats, and it's a full timeout.
Yeah, so they've made it closer than they needed to, that's for sure. And for entertainment purposes, you know, I guess it's more exciting. But if you're Jeff Brown and the NFA Wildcats, now it's execution. It's making sure that you have a good shot, good possession here, and get back on defense. And you got to have a plan for Erickson, because if I'm in the other huddle, I'm like, we got to get a stop, secure the rebound, get it up, clear out the weak side, clear out the strong side rather, and let's get a post entry to Erickson on the block.
Erickson's got a game-high 15, and he's got 11 of them in the second half. So some of that message has clearly gotten through, and you're right, you got to think the ball's going in there. And at least, you know, the clock is, if you are Coach Adams, are you worried about the clock at this point with a minute and I think it's going to be a minute 41 left?
No, got plenty of time.
Because it's only a 2-possession game.
Plenty of time. It's not even a factor. What is the most important thing for Woodstock right now is you have to get a stop, and you have to get the ball over half court, because the pressure that NFA's been throwing at you intermittently has caused some turnovers, and if you throw the ball away and give NFA a layup right now, that could be good night. So you want to get a stop, and you want to get the ball up court.
1:37 left to go in the game. Shot clock's at 31, 50-45 Wildcats.
They were going to give.
Yeah, almost underneath the basket.
I mean, I would have took it. I would have took it under the bat. NFA has been very good with their baseline out of bounds today.
Javon's a trigger into Jay Andre. Gets it to Lavoie. Josh backs it out. This is Ford, and that's going to be a foul on Luperon, and that's only the third on Woodstock. So they're not trying to foul there, Coach, right?
I think that one, they might have wanted to give one to get closer to the 5. Let's see.
Lavoie drives in the middle. There's another one. I think.
Now he said no more. All right, so they just wanted to get to 4 so that they have the option.
If they want it.
Yes.
So that was the second on Luperon. So we're at a minute 26. It's still a 5-point game, 50-45. It's a full 35 on the shot clock if the Wildcats can get the ball in bounds, which they do. Thompson, Ford. Put the ball in the hands of Lavoie. There it is. Johnston off the pick from Pontus. Little 3-man weave at the top.
Just running some clock here. Plenty of time on the shot clock.
Which is now at 15. The game clock's at 106. Now we're at 10. And now I think we're going to start to see the movement. Here's Lavoie, Johnston. Shot clock's at 5. Jameer coming off. High three-point line. Josh. Is he getting 3 at the line?
He is.
Right at the shot clock buzzer. Wow.
That's a cardinal sin of man-to-man defense. That's one of the first things you teach. When you close out, you chop it up. You take those short, choppy steps so that you're not going full bore into the shooter.
So Matt Hernandez commits a foul with Lavoie, who was throwing up a shot as the shot clock was expiring, and now finds himself at the line for 3. This is the first.
Gotta make some free throws here.
Gotta get 2 of these, right? Gotta get it to 7.
Yeah, 7 would be beautiful.
I want a
get 1. You got
game,
get
not a
1.
2.
It's still going to be nice. A nice situation. You get 1. Get 2. It's beautiful.
We're going for beautiful, Coach.
All right.
Josh makes the second of 3, a Kai Soria is going to replace Keegan Johnston, which is definitely going to be a defensive move here. Josh makes 2 out of 3. He's made 4 out of 5 on the night, and he's got a 7-point lead now for the Wildcats. So it's 3 possessions with 50 seconds left. And I love that. He gets low in the defensive position, like the Cameron Crazy slapping the floor. 52 to 45. Does it change now for you, Coach, in terms of, are we at the 3-point
I think it's
shot?
actually easier to say we need to get a 2 because, you know, if you miss the 3, it's over. So you want to just get your highest percentage shot. You got to get points. You got to get points. Now you're fouling. So whether it's a 2 or a 3 right now, you got to get points on this possession, and then you're fouling immediately, and you're trying to extend the game. Once the clock's under 20, then you got to start thinking about, you know, do I got to take a 3 now because I might only have 1 more possession left. But you can extend the game. You know, NFA's going to have to cooperate and miss free throws because they haven't shown that they can steal the ball. But you just want to get the quickest shot available. But if you take that 3 and you miss it, it's over.
That's what I was just looking at for the Wildcats. That's why I was surprised that Carter Stringer didn't come in here at this break, because Jameer Ford, you know, he's been vital to this game, but he's 0 for 4 from the line. Pontus is 0 for 2 from the line. So we've had some guys miss from the stripe. Obviously, you don't want to put Lavoie there. He's 4 for 5, so we'll see what happens.
Well, Coach Brown could call a timeout if they get a rebound here and get some
40 seconds left, 7-point lead. They're trying for the 3 with Bushy, no go. Hernandez comes down, tries to come down with a rebound, but he gets fouled by the Wildcats, which is not something we want to do.
The baseline out of bounds, so it was a loose ball.
4th foul on Javon Thompson.
Not the worst thing in the world.
They're looking for Erickson. They're taking forever, and they turn the ball over. So now we back out a little bit. 27 seconds left. 7-point lead and a foul. Now we're feeling comfortable.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That was their strategy. They went for the 3, and I said if they miss that 3, that's it. It's game over. That's the way they wanted to play it, and that's. If it goes down, it looks brilliant, but you don't get the 2 there. You don't get any points there, it's over.
Lavoie back to the line, makes the first.
And it's because you're not going to be able to generate any turnovers. You know, it wouldn't be over against every team. But Woodstock can't generate turnovers, and they're not going to get the ball back.
Lavoie makes his last 4 free throws, 54-45, 9 points. That shot's no good. And we're going to shoot more free throws on the other end. Jameer Ford's going to have a chance to go to the line to make his first of the night.
So take away that 3-point first quarter. And it was a solid performance from the Wildcats tonight on opening night.
Yeah, I think Coach Brown has to be happy, right?
Absolutely.
He has to be happy.
Absolutely. I mean, it's not like you're playing, Moriarty Elementary School and you should have won. You know, this is a large school.
It was only a 7-point game last year.
It's a large school and a competitive, well-coached team with a Division I athlete. You know, you take this win and you celebrate it.
Woodstock pulls back as the clock winds down. It's going to be a 56-45 victory for the Wildcats, which is very close to last year's game, actually, which was 54-47. So it was 2 points off either way, which is kind of interesting. Big win, first of the season, first game of the season for the Wildcats, and they come out with a victory. Woodstock falls to 0-2. Let's do a quick rundown of the score, Coach, just to see what happened here. Garrett Bushy, 6 points for Woodstock. Matt Hernandez, 9. Gabe LaPeron, 1. Quercia with 5. Brady Erickson had 15, 11 of those in the second half, and Will Bushy had 9. For the Wildcats, Akai Soria had 3. Javon Thompson, 6. Keegan Johnston, 9. Jameer Ford, 8. Carter Stringer, 8. Jeandre Pontus, 8. And the leading scorer for NFA, Josh Lavoie, with 14 points. What do you take away?
Well, I take away that you learned something about your team in terms of their grit. You got some pieces on the bench that you now know that you can insert into moments and they can be effective. I think we learned that, as the pressure gets turned up, you can create turnovers, and you take those nuggets and you go back to the drawing board and see how you can get a little bit better, because you only got one practice and then you got another game on Monday.
Yeah, Monday we play host to Lincoln, Rhode Island, a team we lost to last year, and then a week off for the holiday before probably the toughest game, well, arguably the toughest game on the calendar, when they go up and play at East Catholic. So it sure would be nice to build on something here and maybe have a chance to go into East Catholic 2-1, but we'll certainly take a 1-0 start for our very own NFA Wildcats. Coach, any parting thoughts?
No, just a great gritty performance. After the first quarter when nothing was falling, could have got down on themselves, but stuck together, pulled for each other. I thought they handled a lot of the chippiness very well. Didn't buy into that. That's clutch. Those are big learning moments that you don't want to get caught up
for a young team.
Yeah, you don't want to
very young team.
You don't want to get caught up in all that. You got to keep focusing on getting better at playing basketball, because you mentioned it. You're going to play East Catholic. We got 2 teams in conference that are 2 of the top 10 teams in the state. So you got 5, 6, 7 games.
Yeah.
You're playing against
title contenders.
Real basketball teams that are going to give you all sorts of problems. You can't be messing around with getting into arguments. You got to focus on what you can do well and how you could get better, and I thought they did that throughout the game.
So we have got some time off before our next game. We'll be back on January 9th when the NFA girls will host Stonington. The next time we'll see the boys will be January 27th against one of those teams, when Mark Jones, newly elected to the Hall of Fame, brings St. Bernard's into the gym. And yeah, it's been a good start. I mean, look, both teams, we're 2-0 in our games, so I like that.
They should be paying you more, Mike.
They should be paying me more. So we have got people to thank. Mark Betancourt here with us tonight, running all the technical things. Dan Simino did it last night. We have to thank Roy Wentworth and Nick Bolt for their help, and Sheree Fitzgerald and her digital media class for the work that they did to help with our little pregame show and our halftime show. We'll have more of those pieces to run as the year goes on. We've got at least 6 games left, and hopefully, depending on how things go, we might be able to sneak in 1 or 2 more, depending on playoffs and other activity. But here we are. It's almost time for Christmas at 56:45.